Yeah, we ended up touring around Europe on some motor scooters. For Daryl had a Lambretta, I had a Vespa. Spent 6 years bumming around there, singing on street corners and playing in little nightclubs and things. That was 1955 through 61. Wasn't much going on back then, I guess. Seemed like the only way to have any fun was to travel. Wanted to see the world. Went all over Europe, mostly snow and rain. Went over the Alps in a blizzard. Froze my face. I can't even smile for cameras. Can't tell. There was a rodeo in Brussels, Belgium, of all places. They were having a big fair over there in 1958. I went to see their rodeo. I went to visit Darrell. We'd been separated by a case of beer in Italy, and he went one way and I went another way. It happened a lot of times, but it was the first time it happened, and I was missing Darrell. I hadn't seen him in about 6 months. Decided to go up to Brussels, Belgium, where he was hanging out in a little cafe there, and he had the King of Belgium sitting on the floor up there. He was playing the banjo to him, telling him stories about Oregon and the woods. Kids were hitchhiking all over Europe just to go visit Darrell Adams. I became famous as the man who brought him over to Europe. He was really the man. He was probably the most popular American in Europe, Darrell Adams. And he passed away about 10 years ago now, or he'd probably be about 90 years old, I guess, by now. He was older than me even. But we thought we'd get a job singing at this rodeo. Went over to the rodeo grounds. It was in a valley where the railroad went under a bridge there. And they had a big tent that was made by the Goodyear Rubber Company. And there was no tent poles. It was held aloft by wind pressure from fans, don't you know? Well, the doggone thing blew up one day and got a hole in it, I guess, and then it came down. So they had to fold it up and roll it up and put it away. And then it started raining, and they were riding these bucking horses in the mud, and it was kind of a tough go. And then the promoters of the show absconded with $2 million and forgot to pay the cowboys, and it had 60 Sioux Indians and 60 cowboys in this show. And they were kind of hurting for money, so they couldn't afford to hire Darrell and me to sing, but we felt awful bad about it. We started serenading them cowboys out behind the chutes, and they were so homesick. Some of them had tears in their eyes just from hearing some of these songs that Darrell played on his banjo. And it started raining, and one of the cowboys said that there was a bar. It was a saloon right across the road there. Why don't we go inside there and play? So we went in there, and Bill Linderman took his hat off and punched out the dents in it to make it even larger, and went around collecting money in his hat, and he got about $50 worth of Belgian francs in the hat. And somebody went down to the grocery store and got some wine and some cheese and some sandwich makings, and we ended up having a party at somebody's apartment. Casey Tibbs was laid out on the table, world champion bronc rider 6 times, probably the best bronc rider that ever lived. And they kept telling me, sing that Preacher Casey song, Jack, because it mentions Casey in there. But I sang it to him. He didn't hear a word I was singing. He'd had a little bit too much to drink that afternoon. But we all had a good time. And one of the guys, a bronc rider by the name of George Williams, taught me this song. I thought it was an old cowboy song, but I found out later it was really written by the husband of that woman that had the banjo back in Topanga Canyon. Old Butch Hawes wrote this song. It's called Diamond Joe. I'd like to sing it for you. There is a man you'll hear about you go. Holdings are in Texas, and his name is Diamond Joe. Carries all his money in a diamond-studded jaw, and he never was much bothered by the process of the law. Well, I carried out my money and hired out the Diamond Joe boys. I didn't offer him my hand. He gave me a string of horses so old they could not stand, like to starve to death, boys. He did mistreat me so I never saved a dollar. Don't ever buy a shub capo with a wheel on it, and his name was Diamond Joe. Sorry about that. His bread, it was corn dodger, meat I couldn't chaw. Drove me near distracted with the wagging of his jaw. And the telling of his stories, I aim to let you know that there never was a rounder that lied like Diamond Joe. Well, I tried 3 times to quit him, boy, but he did argue so that I'm still punching cattle in the pay of Diamond Joe. And when I'm called up yonder and it comes my time to go, give my blankets to my buddy and give the fleas to Diamond Joe. Appreciate it. Thank you very kindly, folks.